Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of The Ward on Sports. It's been a little while, but as you can see from the background, I have a new place. I've been moving over this past weekend, last week at the beginning of May, so it's been a little hectic, been a little crazy. Haven't really been able to get to recording and editing and posting videos, but we're settled in, we're back, and we have 2 more weeks of Mascot Madness to get into, so let's get into it. First, let me give you some quick thoughts about the Eagles draft and how I felt about it. Overall, I am excited about what the Eagles did in this year's draft. The offense should be dynamic, and Carson Wentz should now shine with all the new weapons that he has and all the speed that he has. He was able to be really good last year with a lot less weapons. Now he's got the options that he needs to throw and really show how great of a quarterback he is. And of course, the main topic of the draft was drafting Jalen Hurts in the second round. And after some time, it was scary at first, but after some time has gone by, I'm starting to understand the pick, and I'm actually kind of excited about it. I don't think that I would have made the pick because it just invites so much skepticism, criticism, and debate amongst fans because we've had this in the past with Carson Wentz and Nick Foles, and there's always talk. Now you're just inviting that, and why would you want to bring that into the locker room? Why would you want to bring that into the media and have them berate Carson Wentz with questions after questions about, hey, what about that stud quarterback from college that's just sitting right back there? Is he going to take your job? Whether we want to admit it or not, Carson Wentz has a chance of getting injured. He's shown, whether it's his fault or not, whether it's been for 1 game, 4 games, a bit of a longer stretch, he's gotten hurt in the past, and it's good to have a big safety netting for when that happens. And then I liked all the talk that they've been saying about the NFL always adapting and continuing to grow, and which team is going to be the first team to find this new way of doing things, and that could be what we're seeing here. There's a lot of talk about the NFL going to a 2-quarterback system, not just like a wildcat option, but 2 quarterbacks that can actually make an impact on the field, both throwing and running, new plays, new designs, new concepts, new schemes. So the Eagles may be grooming Jalen Hurts for that transition and actually getting ahead of the game of having 2 quarterbacks that can do a lot of damage and really move the offense forward even stronger. We know Jalen Hurts is going to be a great teammate. We know that Carson Wentz is, if anything, just going to see this as motivation to prove how great he is. He loves the competition. He invites players into the team. He always is excited about having more talented players on the team. He's not a guy to feel pressure or get upset because of moves that the front office makes. That's just the type of guy he is, and that's why he's so great. So overall, I wouldn't have made the pick if I was in the position. The risk reward for me just isn't high enough. I think if another team had gone with this pick that hasn't had the quarterback controversy in the past, then it would have been really smart, and people would be talking even more highly about the potential of Jalen Hurts and 2 quarterback systems and stuff. So it's just that the Eagles have had that history, so that's what makes it a little shaky, and I don't want to invite the press into a bonanza of questions and comments and concerns with the quarterback situation. But the pick has been made. There's no changing it, so we must embrace it, and I have learned to embrace it. I'm excited for what these 2 can do. I'm excited about the offensive weapons that the Eagles have. I think they're going to be really good this season, next season, for many years to come. So overall, great draft by the Eagles, and I'm excited to see the Eagles fly. Now to Mascot Madness, where the first matchup is going to be those Eagles versus the Dallas Cowboys. We're going to blow through this one really quickly. The victory is going to go to the Eagles. I'll give you 2 reasons, and you can decide which one you like, or maybe you like them both. While we think of Cowboys as the gunslingers of the Wild Wild West, really what a cowboy is a cattle rancher, and they can rope cattle and horses and Mustangs, but for the most part, they're on horseback, making sure that cattle are staying in line. An eagle, meanwhile, is a massive bird with a 6 to 8 foot wingspan, and it is the national symbol of America. It can fly from 35 to 43 miles an hour when it's just gliding around, but has been recorded as going as much as 99 miles an hour when it dives vertically. It has very sharp talons, very powerful beaks, and extremely keen eyesight. And hunters, although it is illegal to hunt bald eagles in North America, have said that it is extremely difficult to shoot a bald eagle because they are extremely quick in the air and fly in very confusing patterns that make it extremely hard to shoot them. The way the bald eagle wins is, well, it's the national symbol of America, and so if a cowboy was to have a gun and pull it out and try to shoot an eagle, the FBI is going to be all over them, and they're going to take them away, and the eagle wins by default. That's a lame answer. If you want to take it, go for it. But the other main thing is that it has been described as one of the most difficult animals to hunt by various hunters in the past. The Cowboys from our favorite movies have never really had the best aim unless your name was Clint Eastwood. Sure, you can find some Cowboys that have been sharpshooters and never miss a shot, but do you really expect a whole team of Cowboys to be just like that and be able to take down a bunch of Eagles? If they don't have their guns, how much are they really going to be able to put up a fight? Eagles come down, striking with their talons, clawing out with their beaks. They have the weapons and tools. They have the predatorial nature that they'll need to win a fight. So that's the answer that I prefer a little bit more. Eagles over the Cowboys. In the other matchup in the NFC East, we have the Giants and the Redskins. Now, the Giants are very interesting because the question is, what Giants are we talking about? There's the Giants from Nordic and Greek mythology, Giants in Marvel Comics, the Giants in Harry Potter, Andre the Giant, the Big Friendly Giant, the Iron Giant, the planet Jupiter, which is known as the Gas Giant, the Jolly Green Giant from our green beans and vegetables, and Goliath, who was considered a giant and lost to Little David. So obviously, depending on which one we pick could depend on their advancement in this bracket, but for reasons yet not mentioned, I'm going to go with the Giants from Greek mythology. The story of the Giants is very interesting as they are children of Uranus and Gaia, the same parents who gave birth to the Titans. However, Uranus wasn't too pleased, apparently, with his children and was, you know how some of those stories can go, not going to do great things to them. So Gaia hid one of her children, Cronus, until he was old enough and strong enough to then sneak behind Uranus, castrate him, and then the story goes that the blood from Uranus mixed with Gaia, and through that combination, the great giants were born. Yeah, Greek and Roman mythology for you. Although they are sometimes confused with the Titans, they have their own great battle against the Olympian gods, known as the Gigantomachy. Many of the accounts of the giants mostly talk about how they died from the gods, but the ways in which they died are pretty miraculous. Demesis, the fastest of the giants, had his body exhumed by Chiron and had his ankles removed and incorporated into an Achilles' burnt foot. A giant named Enceladus was fighting Athena, and according to Apollodorus, he was crushed by Athena under the island of Sicily. He had to have an island dropped on him in order to die. Hippolytus was killed by Hermes, who was wearing Hades' helmet, and that makes the wearer invisible, so he was fighting somebody he couldn't even see. The giant Mimas was said to have died from a Zeus thunderbolt that burned him to ashes. Polybotes was also crushed under a piece of island broken off and thrown by Poseidon. And then Porphyrion, who was considered the greatest of the giants, was attacked by Zeus, hit with a thunderbolt, and shot dead from an arrow shot by Hercules. The death of the king of the giants was an arrow by the bow of Apollo and a thunderbolt by the god Zeus. All this is to say that the giants were only killed by pretty miraculous deaths. They were able to go toe-to-toe with the greatest gods of Greek and Roman mythology and in their history, so there's no real need to go too deep in depth on the Redskins. Redskins refers to the racial slur to describe the Native Americans of the United States and Canada of overall North America. They were very intelligent people overall, especially in areas of religion, warfare, family, and more, but to really go in depth onto them, it's just going to be a waste of time. The Giants are not going to lose to regular humans and regular Native Americans. And with that being said, we might as well just advance them straight ahead because they're not going to lose to Native Americans. And as much as it hurts me, they're not going to beat a bunch of Eagles. I believe in the power of the mighty bald eagle, but you're facing Giants, you're facing people that went against Greek gods. You're advancing and going to be the representative of the NFC East. NFC North, we have probably the best matchup in the first round in the Bears versus the Lions. We are talking about the brown bear, grizzly bear of North America, one of the largest living terrestrial members of the order Carnivora. And we're talking about the king of the jungle in the lion. Bears can range in size from anywhere from 5 to 9 feet on average, while the lion is usually a pretty standard 6 to 7 feet. Because of their variability in size, the brown bear can weigh anywhere from 500 to 1,200 pounds, with a more consistent lion weighing about 400 to 500 pounds on average. Bears tend to be fairly solo creatures aside from their mate and cubs, while lions are grouped together in what are called prides. The grizzly bear has large paws and claws, although they are blunt claws, making it hard for them to climb trees. They also have a bite force of around 975 psi that has been known to be able to crack through a whale's skull. Lions have a fierce swipe and mighty claws and paws of their own, and a bite force of about 650 psi. While bears can hunt and eat just about anything, they have a really large variety in diet, including berries, nuts, rodents, moths, and sometimes bigger animals like moose and elk. The lion, meanwhile, is a true predator and carnivore, and although it tends to avoid big animals like elephants and rhinos, it has been known to kill other predators such as leopards, cheetahs, and hyenas. Research suggests that a bear is 2.5 to 5 times stronger than humans, and even greater than that if it is enraged. It has been seen to push around a 700-pound dumpster described as like a beach ball. Meanwhile, lions, although king of the jungles, have pretty low stamina and rely on short and powerful attacks with a fast rush and a final leap. The lion may be the king of the jungle, but the brown bear, the grizzly bear of North America, is bigger, stronger, better stamina, and overall more powerful than a lion. A lion actually doesn't even do most of the hunting and is only there to help out the lionesses if they can't finish off a kill or are struggling with an attacking animal. If we were talking about the lionesses versus the bears, I might give the edge to the lionesses. But in this case, although the lion is the king of the jungle, the bear is going to win because it's simply just bigger, stronger, and better than a lion. In the Packers-Vikings matchup, there's not much to talk about. Vikings were the Scandinavian explorers from the 8th to 11th centuries that were highly advanced technologically, militarily, and culturally, swinging their axes around, which that is true, and not wearing horns on their helmets. The Packers, meanwhile, refer to Curly Lambeau, who was a shipping clerk for the company that gave the Packers money in order to play and have jerseys. So we are literally talking about people who package things when we're referring to what is a Packer. Raiders, traders, expansioners who were sophisticated and knew how to fight versus your average Joe shipping clerk. Needless to say, Vikings advance. Then the Bears-Vikings is a very interesting matchup, but there's something that you need to know about the Vikings which will give them the edge in this battle. First is that one of their main weapons was the two-headed axe, which could slice through shields and through metal. That is a very strong axe and could do a lot of damage against any animal. The second and more important is that there was a big group of Vikings known as berserkers, which comes from the Norse word that literally means bear shirt. They fought in a fury potentially caused by psychoactivity from mushrooms or from too much alcohol, but they literally wore bear skins as their attire. They would enter a state of fury, and some scholars have translated it to mean that they would actually take on the form of a bear, which would be awesome, because then we're talking about real bears fighting human bears, and that would just be something really fun to watch. But because of those two things, their ability to just literally go berserk, where we get that word, to just go crazy, and their advancement with their weapons, with their ability to expand as far as they did. They were a very strong group of people. Gonna give the edge to the Vikings in this one, which means we have Vikings-Giants fighting for the Final Four. And as much as I want to make an argument for the Vikings and think that this would be an awesome battle, I think it would be better than we might initially think, but we're gonna have to advance the Giants. Similarly to the Titans, this is simply just a matchup that doesn't work out well for anybody else. It's truly just the Giants are stronger. They are born under mythological deities, and it took dropping islands on them to kill them, which means that they had to have put a great fight against the Olympian gods. They were able to go toe-to-toe with the strongest people in Greek and Roman mythology. So the Giants take down the Vikings, and the Giants represent the NFC North and East in the Final Four. That means we have 3 of the 4 Final Four selected, and next week we will fill that final spot with a team from the NFC South or the NFC West, and we will crown a winner of most dominant mascot in the NFL, the mascot that would most likely win a fight. Thank you all for watching. As always, be on the lookout for more videos. Now that I'm settled in, I will be back to the action, and there's been a lot of talk in the baseball world about things brewing and things getting going, so definitely be on the lookout for more videos in that area. Like, comment, subscribe, and share this video. Stay safe, stay healthy, strive, drive, thrive, and have a great day, everybody.